I'm Dr. Pierre Guertin, neuroscientist. This week the question is, are mindfulness and consciousness the same? Well, the short answer is no, not at all. Mindfulness is a method, not a biological correlate of consciousness. It was introduced by John Kabat-Zinn in the late 70s as a method of relaxation using the power of our own senses in the present moment. Its most popular version, called MBSR, uses body scanning and breathing awareness techniques to reduce stress and anxiety in just 8 weeks when medically supervised. In fact, clinical trials have clearly shown its efficacy in patients with cancer, for instance. This said, a large meta-analysis study conducted recently by researchers from Johns Hopkins showed that physical activity and some behavioral approaches or anxiolytics are equally effective in reducing stress and anxiety. On the other hand, consciousness is not a method but a biological function, a brain function. If you're not sleeping right now, which I hope, you're probably, most probably at least minimally conscious. I said minimally because many things we do, we think, and we feel remain largely under unconscious control, at least if we're not sleeping. In fact, consciousness and unconsciousness are like the yin and the yang. When unconsciousness is expressed, consciousness is not, and vice versa. This said, many exceptions exist to this rule. For instance, when we're walking is largely involuntarily controlled. Most of the time when we walk, the basic neural signals sent to muscles are under involuntary control. But other commands from our cortex and mesencephalic area can be involved intermittently to start and stop walking, for instance, or to turn right or left, or to avoid obstacles. That other part is under voluntary control. In recent years, consciousness has even been measured using electroencephalograms, transcranial magnetic stimulation, and MRI techniques. After filtering those data with complex algorithms, neuroscientists can get a value, a number if you want to, called PCI, which is associated with a specific level of consciousness being expressed at a given time. LSD and other psychedelic drugs are well known to alter PCI values in consciousness, at least in some ways. Meditation can also increase our consciousness momentarily. Even physical activity can stimulate brain areas believed to underlie consciousness expression areas and relate to networks such as the DAT, the VAT, the DMN, and DNCC. Don't worry, we'll talk about those networks and brain areas in future videos. Next time we'll talk about the effects of aging on consciousness. See you next week.